you inside the facility.
I can't believe it.
Major Sanan, Dr. Walker.
You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take us long to get you back up to full fighting capacity.
This is good to hear. I was told there was a new threat on the horizon. I wish to learn more.
Percival will give you the full story.
Plus, get you dressed for the occasion.
Occasion? Where are we going?
Londinian.
Londinian. Doctor, I will require additional armaments.
That's the
Captain, you're with me. Time to walk you through what we came up with. Destination's Londinian on Ptolemy 2. We're meeting with Commander Hatum. So the problem we're up against is vast.
Temperature levels are bottoming out.
Anywhere. Meaning us finding and disposing of them ourselves isn't an option. But what if we could let something else do the work for us? Come on. I'll walk you through what we're thinking. You remember that creature we talked about before you went to Nira? The thing that eats... Apparently, they were bloodhounds for Terrormorphs. But when the UC ran low on synthetic foods during the Colony War, the Asylees were chosen to fill in the gaps. We thought they were harvested to extinction. But in the data, the research team found the location of a few remaining specimens. As you can see, what we're proposing is bringing them back. We'd breed populations of them, distribute them to human worlds, and then let nature take its course, using a method that thousands of years of adaptation have already perfected. We could speed up their breeding process using some of the same technologies that were used to create me. We even think that with some time and investigation, we could use the Asylees' hunting skills to track down the Terrormorph transmission method at long last. Find out how humanity spread them and put an end to the Terrormorph problem definitively. If you pick a fight with one, or you're a Terrormorph, sure. But Asylees were already spread across the galaxy once before during the Colony War. As livestock, they're far less of a danger than the one we're proposing to clean up. I really think it could. Now, there is another option for removing the Terrormorphs from our worlds. It's faster. A microbe. Something we could aerosolize, let spread, and have it clean up anything with Terrormorph DNA for us, which would include morphs, and we expect their transmission method. It'd still take time to build, test, and distribute, but no other method could hold a candle to it when it comes to sheer efficiency. Inclined that way myself. With either path, though, we're looking at a long-term commitment. Years of work. Even just getting these plans off the ground is going to take time. And all routes are going to require some highly specific materials to make things work. Terrormorph cell lines we can breed quickly and consistently to test on. Asylees' gene samples we can use to rebuild their bloodlines. Or sharpen our microbes' tracking skills. Not the sort of things any labs just got lying around. But we think we found a lead. One place in the known galaxy where we know we should be able to find all the material. All paths lead to Londinian. Exactly what I was hoping to hear. Now, the UC has a small operating base on Londinian. We're cleared for access, but we'll need to check in with the base commander, Sarah Hut. I'm gonna help Percival and Kaiser prep, but once that's done, we'll rendezvous. But you need to know, Londinian? They'll have anti-Xeno gear for us at the base, but I'd make sure you've got your favorite.
romanticize a place when you're away from it for long enough. But I forgot what a dust-crusted pit... Now you. Oh, what are you... Oh, that's you then. Don't much care for Vanguard. It sounds like you two really... My sister's kids live in the city. So, thank you. Yeah, they both came through okay. One science division, other's an artist. Effectively useless human beings that would have had no reason to be anywhere near the fighting. Still, would hate to see anything happen to them. Now, what was it you needed? No more reliable...
It's a damn shame that it was necessary. To reopen this facility, but someone has to deal with the fact that the Terrormorphs have resurfaced. fire up your hands, Scanner. I bet you'll find plenty here to...
Double time!
I pride myself on knowing every person that steps... Are you with this collection team they informed us we're hosting? Either... Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were an... eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task like... Ah, then this must be the rest of you.
Commander Hatum, I...
No need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you. As does the urgency of your mission. So I'll get to it. Now, Londinian is one of the most dangerous places. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entry. Terrormorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinan's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and... except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people... Do we understand each other? The initial Terrormorph outbreak that overran Londinian during the tail end of the Colony War came as a complete shock. Waves of the creatures appeared out of nowhere, and the city was quickly... There were some attempts at evacuation, but Ve Victus decided more definitive action was merited. He ordered the spaceport to be bombed, ensuring no other ships could leave the city, halting the spread of the outbreak but leaving large sections in ruins and condemning. And the intervening 20 years have only made Londinian more hostile, not less. So my people will not be coming for you out. Terrormorphs, and plenty of them, outside our little For that reason, we keep our trips into the city to a minimum. That also means our intel becomes largely historical once you go much... It's also why I want to make sure I'm being... Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations, and I do believe there's someone waiting for you. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain it. I hope you all find what you're looking... Robot, you're coming with...
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this...
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done...
Hey. Yes, what? You match our description. Make sure you had the best tools.
Whatever you need. If you have any gear... okay? If you're lucky, we'll talk again later. Transfer's complete. Those codes will allow you to temporarily...
All set on your gear? Then let's get this. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Take it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
All right. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. Vasilis. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
Dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its way.
Please don't tell me you're going to eat that.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
more contacts.
Well, well. Bring me anything useful? Oh, I love our little chats. You know how to make all the things special.
They're going to betray you. Every last one.
Combat systems engaged.
Come on!
All Asili's samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid Terrormorph sample, but it's from a spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
We've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. A real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm? What's that? My God. Look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Have you seen this? Oh my god. The heat leeches are Terrormorphs.
What? No. It can't be true. Heat leeches are everywhere. They live everywhere. That means Terrormorphs... Oh my god.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a Terrormorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby Terrormorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how Terrormorphs move between planets. No, Lazarus plants can't grow anywhere but here, let alone blossom. People have tried. Plus, if what we just witnessed was happening anywhere else, well, it wouldn't just be Londinian lost to these things. What we just saw, it must be some kind of alternate growth method. One that winnows 70 years of maturation into seconds. It's incredible. That I don't have an answer for right now. But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches and Terrormorphs. The Aciles, we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for both. I am sincerely inclined to agree, but current evidence suggests nature manages it just... The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the Terrormorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a Terrormorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... But first, you'd have to know the truth about all...
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it!
We may proceed.
Go!
Combat procedures activated.
Geyser's got this. No data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample. All right, let's get to the bottom of this.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant and realized the ends it could be put to.
A bioweapon no one would recognize as one. Oh, that's a terrifying prospect.
Sort of thing that'll keep you up at night. And the sort of thing whoever did this probably didn't expect. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one. It couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the Terrormorphs. These attacks. I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a... Who could pull something like this off?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's... If we're gonna do anything to prevent more Terrormorph attacks...
Roger that. Kaiser?
The entrance is... I am unable to provide sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And we do that.
Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Senor, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Invictus. He destroyed this place. Killed these... He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was Yes. But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was protecting us all. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it Now's not the time to joke like that, all right? No, that's insane. He died. They executed him. They faked his death? My entire unit, they threw us all to the wolves, but kept him? And now he's what, an advisor? What was so important that they had to keep him? Well, they certainly picked an expert, didn't they?
He's alive. I don't care if they're using him to solve world hunger. The man is a criminal.
I guess it makes sense, though, doesn't it? The UC of that era only created me because they were afraid of a world without Victus in command. Why would they get rid of him? As long as I live, I'll never understand the loyalty of that old bastard. But wait, if my father's alive and knew about the Lazarus plant, what do you... And even if he wasn't directly involved...
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was Victus's responsibility? Just...
But I guess we're not getting any more answers right now. Kaiser! Try it now!
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
Drag around all that gear. Let me guess. Want to see what I'm counting? I'll be counting the minutes to our next chat.
Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
It sounds like Major Sanan and Dr. Walker have things they wish to discuss.
Hey, Victus.
Look at all of you. It got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there, but it sounded like... Can't be positive until we run some tests. But knowing that the Terrormorphs have been masquerading as heat leeches all this time arguably makes things more feasible, now that we know what we're dealing with.
Agreed. Plus, I don't think you're gonna have to push real hard to get folks on board with cleaning up one of the galaxy's greatest pests if this is what they're capable of.
But none of that's getting done without the samples. You do have them, right? Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from...
It's a bit more complicated.
I'm sorry, what? He's pulling my leg, right? Adrian?
No, I don't believe he is.
So that means we have
I believe that's exactly what that means. Look, Captain. Percival and we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the Terrormorph. But Vay Victus is the only solid lead. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? See if you can get... Good. We'll all meet back at mast. Out. Best of luck, Captain.
Remember when I said I like to be close to you? Now you know exactly what I meant. Didn't know you could build one of those. The two of us make glad to hoard. Ah, I miss talking to you already. Was quite a workout. Hope you had as much fun as I did. I have things for you. What's happening, darling? I should start charging. Talk to you again soon, darling.
Whoa! Now that is a shit!
I asked my boss.
you don't see what you want... Oh, please, take a... Oh, please. Thanks for coming in.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must... Did you find what you... Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you did. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want any... You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terrormorph attacks on Tau Ceti. New Atlantis. My doing. Years years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you... Not a bad... The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terrormorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of Terrormorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death? It was the only option that made sense at the time. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the cult, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run. Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. Though now... there are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to and we all... It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the cap... Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running job with only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. I'm simply looking for you. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terrormorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is... I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good. And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war or digging a tram tunnel, I only hope you'll see the same. Hunting down criminals and other threats to you. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once you would help me, like you did with Orlais. Track them down and keep them from doing harm. Impossible, though, if the cabinet... Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Ah, my day just got a whole lot brighter. Oh, must we? I don't...
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Aciles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are...
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our world.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to... So what about your end? Did my father tell you what he knew about the lab? I knew it. Why? It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the Sanan name. Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like. My hope would be that whatever connections he's got to the outside, make sure his future schemes and machinations stay. But honestly, I'm not. He's in a unique position, and has done a special kind of. I'm sure he did, but he killed dozens of people, and I'm not about to let him get away with something like. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things. Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of using them to clean up the Terrormorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as them. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with no. Perfect timing. So on our end...
Means either plan you...
Considering what I already sent along. So what about your end? Did my father tell you what...
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he... Oh yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the...
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Huh, I see. Wish we... Any idea why he might have done it? Another madman well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. This might be our...
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again...
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant. And then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Asylees aren't hostile, but they've already been spread. Using them to clean up the terror. Given what we... They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leaching.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terrormorph attack on New Atlantis was... Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terrormorphs?
You will all receive a full briefing. So then, is what the second report claims correct?
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinium.
Reginald Olace? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlay's... Well, it appeared. This report contains definitive evidence Orlay's triggered the attacks via this...
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UCs, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches. The three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to... As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinium. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else...
A sound decision, Madam President. Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terrormorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is... The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are...
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind using it to wipe out the Terrormorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves.
I see. Captain, I know...
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the Captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colony's Terrormorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies. Or done. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is... You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's...
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, this meeting is adjourned.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one. You should be real proud. No need to thank me. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your account. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Affilion Realty office. They should be able to grant... Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a... There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up Terrormorph. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any of those missions called to you? Any chance to bag some bugs, right? Well, I can provide. Let me just check my logs. Okay, these coordinates should get you to your first target. It's there. These missions are straightforward. Proceed to the location.
What's this? Just you then? No UC executioner. So the cabinet knows the truth about Orlays. Splendid. That means you and I can get to work. I'll tell you why. Because the UC was, and is, full of people unwilling to pay the price required for victory. In the last days of the war, The UC was on the precipice of executing a final great assault on the Freestar Collective home system of Cheyenne. A massive strike, capable of obliterating Freestar Central Command and ending the conflict at long last. And I wouldn't underestimate the UC's capability for coordinated action. But just before we could launch the strike, word came from Londinian. The Terrormorph outbreak had begun. I went to the city to assess the state of things, and discovered we couldn't spare ships for a proper quarantine. So it was my decision to destroy the spaceport and seal off the city. Deal with it quickly, so we could get back to winning the war. I had a single ship. What would you have had me do? Ask them and the Terrormorphs to form a line? And the UC fleet was spread thin already. No. I touched down, assessed the situation, made a decision, and very well. So upon my return from Londinian, we proceeded with our killing blow. Initially, we had great success against the mess the Freestar Collective called a Navy. But then the Freestar citizenry decided to get involved. Dozens of civilian ships jumping in to shield their military counterparts. I, of course, had no trouble firing on what should have been designated enemy vessels. But my peers had lost the stomach for it. So many lives lost already, they wailed. So the great UC Navy was routed by a mob. They picked our ships apart. The UC surrendered not long after. It's human nature to see patterns, even when there are none. What ended the colony war was cowardice. We were in the middle of an all-out war, Captain. Which city would you prefer I'd sacrificed? Sidonia? Gagarin? New Atlantis? And if anyone else had learned about the Lazarus plant, well, I weighed the options. Once we'd cracked synthesizing the Lazarus plant's pollen, research that took years in and of itself, the attacks were exceeding. Orlaze's ship would land on our target, bearing a few heat leeches. Nothing that would raise suspicion. Then Lazarus pollen was pumped out of the ship during liftoff from the planet's surface. Shortly thereafter, an attack. A strike perpetrated in mere moments, with no one being the wiser. Well, thanks to our combined efforts, the Sanan name has more clout with the cabinet than I have a long list of names civilized society would be better without. I just need someone to... Should we begin the hunt? Just making this settled systems. Arms dealers, rogue scientists, UC turncoats. I'd be directing you to them, and you'd be making the... The UC doesn't consider these threats worthy of action just yet. But by the time they do, it may... Which is why we'll be dealing with them before they can cause greater... As far as possible legal repercussions, I'll only be sending you to targets once they're away from the general populace. You may have to deal with some mercenaries or other general banditry, but no one's gonna shed a tear if a merchant of death or a chem peddler and their henchmen meet an early end. You won't be going after anyone that you see might miss. So you needn't fear. Just what I was hoping to hear. There's a slate waiting. Those are the details for our first, person of interest. Find them, eliminate. Them, and make the galaxy a better place for it. Though I would expect some resistance when trying to approach the target. Deal with any you encounter as you see fit.
Not want to go outside to see.
I'm just saying, my family was on the first ship. Proper founders.
My family came in what? So you're saying we don't belong in the Corps?
You're probably looking for Mary.
You seen those Ashta outside the walls? All right. Good news. Hold still now. Ain't no sugar. All right, you're good to go. Here's what I've got. I got a feeling this ain't the last I'll see of you.
Just waiting around.
The mayor's all right. Always painting too rosy a picture, though.
Well, hey there. You've got potential. Just need to see a little more. Oh, you're back. Good. You did what I asked. Follow me. We're headquartered in the upper floors of the rock, but we also have remote stations throughout Freestar Collective space. Helps us to identify and respond to threats more quickly. There are less than a dozen rangers in all, and we operate with limited resources. Thankfully, most people respect us and are willing to cooperate. In this job, your eyes, ears, and wits are every bit as important as your badge and your sidearm. Marshal.
Emma! I take it you're here because you're satisfied that our new recruit can handle the job.
Seems capable enough, and we could use the help.
All right, then. Step forward, recruit. Let me have a word with you.
Excuse me.
I've got just... Do you pledge... Well, that's not quite the same. Here, take these. I'm assigning you to Ranger Wilcox. Welcome aboard.
Wish we could throw you a welcome party. We got word from a farmer on... She says some... Whoa! How about you ease back on the throttle? Violence is the last resort. You don't draw your weapon unless... Grab any supplies you...
Pay attention to what Ranger Wilcox tells you.
Freestar Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. All right, we're done.
Setting down, everything in the green.
Over here!
The Freestar Rangers.
I'm Ranger Emma Wilcox.
I was out planting in the fields when I saw some men approaching. They wanted to buy the farm. Their offer was so low. They said they'd give me time. There were 4, but when they were walking away, I heard... Nothing I can think of, no. Truth is, we're in some hard times here. The last harvest was the worst we've had. Besides, it ain't like there's a lack of available land. That's right. The uniforms look like they had a certain steel in their eye. I was in fear for my life. Back behind the house, there's some canyons. They went that way. That place is dangerous. If you're going after those... Oh, there's one other thing.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Deputy. Keep that weapon handy and your eyes sharp. Since these guys don't know we're at.
I like to think of myself as your emotional support human.
Well, hello. Any troubles you need to share? I'm more than ready. Can't imagine living on the fringes like this. I think I'll stick to the comforts of New Atlantis.
Boot tracks. Several pairs by the look. Not too old either. Let's head down into the canyon.
Are you certain that traveling... You better check your ammunition supply. It's clear that we're not the only... You better quit that. Before you hit something you'll regret.
Just hope they're not perched up onto these canyon walls, waiting to snipe at us. Nice to get out under this. Get ready! Smell that? I bet my badge that's wood smoke from a campfire. They're close. Be ready.
Hell, they're right in that damn neighborhood.
The standoff at the bank ought to keep the marshal tied up for a while.
Wait. We're gonna have some fun.
Well now, Ms. Wagner called in the cavalry. I suggest you turn around.
Normally, I'd suggest you choose your words carefully so we could avoid bloodshed. But something tells...
Oh, it ain't exactly the farm that's special, but that... Don't recognize the uniform. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's like the Major said, forgotten our sacrifice. We'll make them all remember. You think you're in a position... Well, I've got news for you. So, got any last... Oh, I think it does.
Damn, that was a lot rougher than I expected. Let's talk.
Find it when you have a moment. I'd like to speak to you. If something's on your mind, you can tell me. Sorry to pull you aside like this. Taking those steps to eradicate the Terrormorph threat is essential. Yes, exactly. I'm glad you treated the I only wish that the United Colonies chose to exterminate the Terrormorphs with the experimental microbe, instead of choosing this. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. I beg to differ with you. Deploying the Asili's solution is going to take years, perhaps even decades. Well, I'm disappointed that... Unfortunately, locking away the Lazarus plant instead of eliminating anything that accelerates the Terrormorph life cycle... Of course. I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time. I'm sorry if I've hurt you in any way.
Are you okay? Really? Guess you've let her... Maybe the less I know. Let's search the area. Maybe... Likewise. Find anything interesting? Let's see what we have here. So, their ship... Whoever pulled that off must have... Well, I guess someone really... Speaking of which, let's get back there.
Scan any promising leads?
What's the news? What happened? Did you find... I'd always heard the Freestar Rangers were... So who were they? They say the Rangers always get their man. I can't thank you enough. Of course.
If you have any more trouble, give us a call. All right, Deputy.
It must be quite rewarding to work on a farm, growing and raising everything needed to survive. Believe it or not, I'm almost envious.
I'll say right, everyone needs supplies. Here.
Deputy. The mayor's all right. Always painting too rosy a picture, though.
Hiya. Got into a tussle with a Shaw Gang smuggling ship in Coda. Had to limp back to Aquila City. With my ride, it was a bit of a hard landing, you might say. Got a few broken ribs, and it turns out one of those ribs punctured a lung. Had a breathing tube in for a spell, but that's gone now. Seems I'm healing up pretty good.
They ain't all real. Stories never are. You keep reading day by
yeah.
day.
Of course. Everyone knows it. That's it then?
Work hard, play hard. That should be the Freestar motto.
If we spend too long in this high-gravity environment, we could potentially suffer physiological damage.
What's the story on
That call we got from Wagoner Farm turned out some men were trying to run the Wagoner. We confronted them, and...
You helped someone in need and came back. For the time being, yes, but you could still be in danger. What did you make of these men who were trying? If that's true. Now, did you find anything that might give... Oak Tech ships? That thief could probably tell us a lot about these men.
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. The unit back. They also said something about being forgotten. They seemed bitter about it. Didn't you fight in the Colony War?
The 1st Cavalry. I was in that unit for a while, but it was disbanded. Hell, it's our own. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town. She can introduce you to. Just make sure. Good. This is your assignment. Meantime, good hunting.
After you, Captain.
And we're off. Achieving
Mayday,
orbit.
Mayday! This is Freestar Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help.
Solid docking job there. Nice work.
Please tell me you're here to help. Not. Yeah, well, if you want to keep that badge, then don't get any ideas. This old girl and I have been through a lot. I was tracking a crew of outlaws that's been preying. Bastards got the drop on me. I ran them off, but they got a few good. As you can see, I ain't in much shape to make repairs. No, no chance. They took as much of a beating as I did, while outnumbering me 3 to 1, I'd like to. Repair my ship? I'll be fine once the priority right now is the ship. Just patch her up enough to get to Hopetown. Thanks. I owe you one.
We're happy to help.
Thanks. That should get... You're right. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back, we can't let that... They look to be heading for Polvo's moon. Good hunting.
We're free and clear for flight.
Leave no one alive.
Enemy's shields are back online.
Approaching ship. You've entered Freestar Collective space. Maintain your current course. We scan for contraband. All right. That's it. Welcome to Hopetown.
While we're here, we should swing by Hope Tech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
I don't want to hear any complaint.
made it. Those outlaws didn't... I can walk, talk, and breathe. That's good enough for me. Good. I'm sure it didn't hurt that I... You've got good timing. A courier just came in from Aquila. The Marshal sends his regards along. I was surprised as hell to learn about the starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us. No, and I can't get answers. I'm sure Mr. Hope has. His office is upstairs.
Keep an eye on you. We'd be dust, except for the factory.
I'm guessing the Marshal already told you this, but I'll say it anyway. Ron Hope isn't just...
Welcome to Hope Tech Sales. Give me your invoice. You don't? Well, what you need to know about our ship of Star Yards with Hope Tech. A smart person. So what are you in the market for? Certainly. have hours of invoices to go over, so right away. Here for business?
Is it just me or...
Sure. If you get the credits, right away. Can I help you? Let me show you our...
Off-worlders.
I guess I could offer double shifts. It'll push payroll pretty high, but I think it's worth it. Enjoy your visit to Hope.
Just good holster. Get along fine.
Talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Burchett. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the Freestar Rangers, at last. I think we're done here, Burchett.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling, being a Freestar Ranger. We certainly could use more of you. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen. Justice must be done, and that's good news. Of course, that doesn't mean you're... I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full... I'm sure I don't need to remind you. I'm glad we understand each other.
I'm not certain why you choose to back this Freestar elitist snob, but that's your choice. I'll back your play, but I don't have to.
Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some... Well, sadly, there's no... I suppose the chance to cut costs by stealing a ship was too good to pass up. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can. No, nothing at all. It was just not that it didn't have great value, mind you. Hope Tech. Build some of the... You can bet my ships last twice as long as anything Stroud Eklund makes. We questioned everyone who was in the building when it happened, and not one Frankly, I think that's both highly unlikely and more than a little suspicious. However, I can't deny there are times when the hangar is empty, so it's not What? Nonsense! We vet our people thoroughly here. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence, because I told them not to, if word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other starship manufacturers. Any sign of... what's more, every starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist. Very well. I need you to understand. This town is home to men, women, and children. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their... If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust. And my workers...
Well, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm sure the burden, but the deputy has responsibility.
Despite what you think, I have great respect for the badge. But my primary concern... I'm glad we understand.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hope, but there's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A breakthrough at last. Well, Deputy, it sounds like you'll be heading to Neon, which means I can get back to work. Remember what we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word? That wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, let's hope. So, guess you're headed for Neon. He's a little different than the rest. He's what I'd call a pragmatist. He sees things for what they are. He's also well connected, which means you should listen to what he tells you. He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work. It was good to meet you, Deputy. I'll be taking it easy for a couple of days. Then, I need to get back. I'm hoping to track one of their Guess we could both? No problem.
I'm here for you, my love. Well...
must be great to be able to... Yes! How close should I... I just want to make sure. Oh, wow.
Hey, I don't care who you work for, you can't... Oh, you're... Not exactly, but I get a lot on. Kinda comes with the terror. The one and only. Well, the Marshal's message said you were following a lead about us. Truth is, a lot of stolen goods flow through here, but this city is real good at keeping it secret. No, I think you can count on my help if you play by the rule. This isn't Aquila City. The badge doesn't carry this. The people who run this place aren't overly concerned about it. Our job is to keep the peace, make sure the violence doesn't get out of hand. The last thing anyone around here wants is some hot... Good. Your stolen ship would have had to land at the spaceport. If it was right off the factory floor, there's a guy I know, Billy Clayton. I'll introduce you, but don't expect a favor. Believe it or not, yeah. My mother's an executive with Ryujin, so I grew up here. I volunteered for this post as much to keep the other Rangers out of trouble as any other reason. If some hotshot rookie took this job and started flashing the badge everywhere, it wouldn't end well. Stay out of people's business until you can. Be willing to let the small stuff slide. Don't break up a fight unless it's getting out of hand. Most of all, don't assume that bad. Come on. That was pretty impressive how you volunteered to help out with the bank heist in Aquila City. Yeah, I read all the reports. I learned quickly that in Neon, staying informed and staying alive are closely linked. What stood out to me was that you didn't lose a single hostage. No wonder the Marshal tried to recruit you right away. If he hadn't, it would have made him look like a fool, having some random stranger step in and do the job he couldn't. Now, if someone tried to hold him... But you understand that, don't you? That's why you just told me that you won't cause trouble. Keep that in mind, and you'll fit right in.
I used to do
Now look at me.
Hey, Billy. Got a second?
What? Oh, it's you. Give me a good scare. I thought you were one of Goodman's people.
Sure. Far from it. Our new deputy here is working a case, and I thought you might be able to help. Take it away, rookie.
What do you need? A stolen Hope-Tech ship, huh? Well, here's the thing. Neon's got no end of shipjackers. I see them come and go every day. It's tough for a guy to remember one from the other. Credits ain't really what I need. There's something you can do. I can help you. But right now, my life is in danger, and I haven't even done anything. Freestar Rangers are supposed to protect the innocent. Then you need to hear this. It's about my brother. He died while still in debt to a syndicate loan shark by the name of Emmett Goodman. Now, Goodman's coming after me to collect. He says if I don't pay up, but... I swear it on my best set of... Goodman's holed up in one of the warehouses on it. Place is locked up tight, but there's a guard who watches the door.
I'll stay with Billy in case Goodman's men come to collect.
This is private property. You... As long as you behave yourself and don't... Here, this will get you in.
Well now, look here. Well now, tell me what brings you by? Ah, it's awful kind of you to intervene on my behalf. Thank you all the same for your... If you're attempting to appeal to my good nature, you see, in my line of work, it doesn't What's your stake in this? Well, I'm afraid that's just none of my in that case, I'll consider the matter closed. You can tell Mr. Clayton he'll have no... As for you, well... I'm aware the Rangers have a reputation for goodness and nobility, but I'm surprised all this...
You better watch it.
Chuck?
Goodman's with us.
You talk to Goodman?
Dealing with him won't cause ripples.
You pay. That's a lot more than...
I get the feeling you got other sources of income besides what you make as a deputy.
Okay. Time for me to keep my end of it. The woman you're looking for is named Grace Early. Stealing ships is her line of work. She usually comes here to sell the goods. Rumor has it she just finished a job for some mercenary outfit. She's been throwing money around, so...
I know her. When she isn't out on a job, she's a regular at Madame Soba. That's on the upper platform.
So come on in. Enjoy some unique company.
Howdy. Rory, it's a movie.
A Freestar Ranger and his... Well, I'm sure your mom is real. So how come I'm talking to the sidekick instead of the Ranger?
This is the deputy's kid.
Is that so? And you had to bring back... Anyway, this ain't my first interrogation, so let's just get on. That remains. I'm guessing this is the part where you tell me that you've got questions and that you that sound about right? All right. So I jacked a ship. I didn't even keep it. It was a job. I turned it over to some men, and they took off for who knows where. Nothing I did put anyone in danger. Hey, all I did was provide them with transportation. They didn't say anything about where they were going or what. Look, I wouldn't have got involved if I thought anyone would be hurt. I've got no love for violence.
Not asking questions is just as bad as giving consent. If that woman had been killed, you'd be an accessory to murder. Did you think about that?
No, I guess I didn't. It's not that... You're starting to make a... I mean... I guess if I can't trust a Freestar Ranger... I was approached by a woman named Maya Cruz. Said she was a senior member of the First and that she had a job for me. She was working with someone inside Hope Tech and pitched me on the idea of jacking a ship right out of the factory. We were deep into planning the job when she had some kind of medical emergency. She said she needed surgery and would be in recovery. That was a few weeks ago. Only some kind of offhanded comment about their client wanting to expand the operation. In my line of work, you learn not to ask a lot of questions. It tends to make people uncomfortable. No, but it sounded serious. She was upset. Didn't seem right I should pry. You serious? Take your pick. Money? Not long after that, I got a message from a guy named Marco. He said he was the money man for the First, and he offered half. Never met him directly, though. It was always through intermediaries and using it. Got the feeling he was paranoid as hell.
Do you have one of those encrypted slates on you right now?
Yeah. Here. Take it. Anything else you want to know? Nothing, really. I was told when and where to meet them. They paid me what I was owed. Not so much as a hint. I'll tell you.
Bankrolling the First must take a lot of money. Sure, he's got all kinds of side hustles.
No. Left me feeling a little disappointed. Given. Yeah, sure.
Next time you're at the Rock, you should give that encrypted slate to Ranger Alex Shadid. He's got a gift for cryptography. If any, I'm gonna head back. Good.
Then I'm free to go. Suits me. I'm getting too old for this line of work. Besides, I'm going out on a high note. Ain't many can say they grabbed a ship right out of Hope Tech. Should make a good story for the kids one day.
Aquila City. Have you been to the Co Plaza? It's shared with another plaza, I think. That's why they call it that.
Sorry.
Good to see you.
Hey there, Deputy.
I'm proud to be helping the Freestar Rangers.
Good to see you. Hey, I wondered when you might... Nia's report said you were heading for Neon? I've always... Yeah, I bet. It just sounds... Probably makes Aquila City look like the more boring back... Alas, I'll have to experience... So how'd it go? Did he now? Well, in that case, it's only a matter of time before I know every dirty little secret. Now, if you get any more of these, bring them to me. It helps if I can compare different instances of the encryption they use. Just look for me up here. I have no life, so I'm not usually... It'll take as long as it takes. One thing I can promise you, though, is that it'll go a lot faster if I don't have to end. Oh, I will.
Not everyone gets to say they work at the Rock.
I need a word. Welcome back. Glad you got a chance to meet him. Sounds like you're making a real... Good. Stay focused on the task at hand and don't take your eye off the target. What did you learn from this start? Now we're getting somewhere. Sounds like you've got a couple of new leads to follow up on. I served with Maya Cruz. She's a technical genius and an expert hacker. I could give you some background if you want it, or we can go straight to planning your next... There was a mech driver in the 1st Cavalry named Marco Graziani. He came from money. And when the first Cav got a reputation as the top unit, he transferred in. Rumor was that Marco had a knack for getting hold of anything we needed. There was talk the family fortune came from smuggling, and he had this dream to become a wealthy businessman when he got out. But I guess that got put on hold when they locked him up. They said she was a child prodigy, which probably explains her arrogance. Even so, she was fierce. I don't think she'd ever give him up. If you find her, don't expect her to go... Like what? Most likely place would be the clinic. It's in Freestar Collective space, and they also guarantee privacy. So it's an Ranger Ben Armistead is posted there. Around the time he got out of jail, we started hearing Marco's name in circulation. Word is he's heading up a smug... Based on what you've learned, I'd presume he's funneling his Ranger Autumn McMillan is out at Red Mile right now, looking into the smuggling operation. Just remember, that's outside Freestar Collective. Your priority is to gather more intel about them. Just remember that your targets were locked up because they were loyal to their unit. They think the Freestar Collective. In other words, you ain't gonna get a warm welcome. Good hunting, Deputy.
Complete. It's so satisfying seeing the hatches line
So how does that ship of yours fly exactly? Sure doesn't look like any engine I recognize.
It feels like I've been waiting forever.
Between you and me, this place sees some weird cases. Yeah? Oh, now hold on a minute. The Marshal's been sending out reports, keeping us all in the loop, and... Well, now, that'd be telling. Well, it ain't anything bad, if that's what you just keep your mind. Yep, I'm pretty well caught. Ben Armistead. Well, I guess that's the long and short of it. You're the newest member? So, is one of them first mercenaries here at the clinic? Well, every ranger knows it's important to... No better place in the settled system. You can bet it beats anything them UC piglets got. Ironic, given they're the ones who built it. I know just the man who can help. Now, just between you and me, I ain't
entirely sure why someone felt the need to station a ranger out here. I'm not much more than a glorified bodyguard for Dr. Darvish. She's the one in charge around here. And she's also on the Council of Governors. Most of the staff don't seem fond
You heard of the
idea
Elios
me
retreat?
leaving here.
Supposed to be some new age healing center for reforming criminals or whatever. Going up in Ixel too. I'm not holding my breath.
We get the cases no one has ever seen.
He's about the only one I can have a
Doesn't know how to
conversation
treat.
with. Hey there, Ari. Working hard or hardly working?
Hey, Chief. A little more of the former than the latter. What brings you by?
Well, the deputy here could use some help. Came looking for someone who might be a patient.
Okay?
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks
Well,
for
I'll leave you in Mr. Miller's capable
don't need to worry.
hands. You need
I've got a
anything
year under
else?
my
I'll
belt.
be in my office.
Settled.
1 year behind you. Whole career.
I'll try to help you, but our computer systems have been having some issues. Huh. Well, we don't give the patients free access to our computer system, so... it's worth keeping in mind. So who's the suspect you're after? Former soldier, huh? Yeah, they say war changes people forever. Makes me sad, the thought of soldiers who come home and don't fit in anymore. The name's not ringing any bells, but... maybe we can approach this in a... Do you know what was wrong with her? That should help narrow things down. I can access the patient records from my terminal, assuming the database cool.
Just one quiet day.
Everything okay?
Not too much to ask for.
Okay, give me just a minute here.
I remember my first...
Maya Cruz.
If Ben hadn't been assigned
Maya
here,
Cruz. Come on, Maya. I need you to be in here. Okay, finally. Here we go. Oh. No matches found for a Maya Cruz. If Maya's here, then she's got to be using... Which actually makes a lot of sense if she's a woman. Yeah. Let me think first. All right, hang on. I know that we do have a few... There's Candace... What's her last name? Doolin. Candace Doolin. And then there's the Nakamori woman. I think her name's Jane. I don't recall offhand what they're here for, but it's... You're welcome to use the Ranger Station terminal. I'll enable...
You're in the Vanguard, right? Hey, thanks for your service.
joke. Say those Baroon zealots worship a snake. Let me tell you.
How does she expect me to get all this done by myself?
Warning. This unit does not possess advanced search.
Yes. What do you want? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid we don't take. If you want a room in our VIP wing, you'll need to make arrangements. Even if that were true, which I doubt, access to that... Who exactly are you? You could be Solomon Coe himself, and my answer would be the same. The rules are the rules, no exceptions. Oh, I wasn't aware. I suppose if I can't trust a colleague, then I can't trust... This will get you in. Conduct your investigation quickly, and I do hope you won't make me...
Dr. Darvish took a chance.
To battle! Captain!
couldn't tell you the last time I wasn't breathing recycled air.
If you're just 1 week without something weird, that's not too much to ask.
There's such a mountain of work, I could really use a hand. But I don't want to inconvenience anyone.
I'm sure there's someone else that can help you. I don't mean to be rude, but unless this is a medical... If you need assistance, please see Ari.
Need to make sure those samples get disposed of.
Warning. This unit is...
If they haven't rushed me back, means it can't be that bad.
Yeah, Ari, I remember when I was a deputy, just starting. Well, let's see now. I joined up. Damn. Hard to believe. There ain't been many Rangers who served that long. Oh, thank you kindly. I suppose I don't think much about it, but when I stopped to count the years.
Will carry the memory of your visit forever.
Nice job. We're right on target. Like and love.
Heard your ship, Doc. If you are who I think you are, then you're here to bring me in. I had to warn you. I've had more than enough time to prepare for this. So either you leave now, or I'll be burying what's left of you.
Something hit me. Strange that it seemed to come from your direction.
for it. Finish it. You might not think so now, but it's likely to end up that way. How about I make this real simple? I've got maybe a few weeks to live, and I ain't spending them behind bars. You want to put an end to me here and now? Then fine. Get it over with. But if you want to let me die on my own terms, then... I've been abused or abandoned by everyone I ever got close to. Gave up on people and put my faith in machines instead. Wasn't until I came to the 1st Cavalry and met Major Hull that I felt I could trust someone again. Well, how about a test? Rangers are known to be handy with a gun. But here's a problem you'll have to solve with your brain. I've encrypted this slate. If you can crack it, now get out of here.
Pressure normalizing. Undocking complete.
Word to the wise. Hey, Deputy.
Welcome to the Rock, I guess.
If you're looking for the Rangers, check the upper levels.
Helga says I spend too much time at my terminal. He's probably right. Hey there, Deputy. Way I hear it, you've been keeping busy jumping from one side. How do you like the job so far? That's good to hear. So, what brings you by? It's going well so far. I think with enough data, I'll be able to... Well, what... Well, this is new. There. I'll see what I can do. If you can get me another one of these, it'll get... In the meantime, you be careful out there, Deputy.